Sure, absolutely. I'm very disappointed. I'm gutted. I'm gutted for us. That's the collective. We tried everything we could to try and get something out of today, and we knew how high the stakes were. We had to get something out of today, or our season is done. And unfortunately, it didn't happen for us, and it was very, very close. But I thought it was, to talk about the game, I just thought it was a fantastic game of hurling, and I thought it was exceptionally well played by both sides. I couldn't be honest, I couldn't be prouder of our fellas down there. I thought they were absolutely outstanding, and I thought we got to a performance level, that anybody would be happy with. But so too did Clare, and they're a super team, and great credit should go to Clare. The quality of their hurling, and they had to chase it, and they really did, and they stayed at it. And big matches are defined by small, by moments. And we'd seen a great cameo where we were in for a potential goal, didn't work out, and straight back up the field. And their ability and their quality to retain the ball and put it in our net, and that was the catalyst for the next sequence of probably 4 or 5 minutes or whatever. I couldn't tell you what the times were, but look, I just think Clare were a fantastic side here today, and as were us. I thought Tip were as well. I think what will bother us and keep us awake at night a little bit will be that level of performance that was elusive. We found it today, but we didn't get anything out of the game. I think if we had found that level of performance, or and above, we may have had something out of this championship. But that's not our lot. Our lot is we're one of the two that won't go forward, and it's very disappointing. For a very committed bunch that are down there in that dressing room, they try, and they gave everything they had, but we just didn't seem to be able to find that spark when we needed to, and it was, unfortunately Clare matched us when it came to it and beat us.
You did everything right, but it still didn't work out. What do you think that difference was?
Well, being honest, I don't think it was anything that you'd put your finger on, other than two teams that absolutely went at it, and I think they're an absolutely quality side, and I'd say, to be fair to them, that's probably the best they've played too in this championship to date. And I know they've a game left, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I think that's a great win for them. I think it'll do a huge amount for their confidence, and I think it's not, there are loads of matches where results go your way and you don't play particularly well, and I think that was one of the matches where results have gone against us and we didn't do anything wrong, to be honest. I just felt it was a brilliant game. Look at it, played in ideal conditions out there, and I know the greatest cliche of them all, but hurling was a great winner out there, but we're the losers.
Michael, when you've had time to ponder between recent games, could you figure out why maybe it wasn't coming together before today, or maybe?
It's probably too soon, Shane, to be honest with you, to give you any credible or anything that would be substantial in terms of why that performance level was elusive. The first thing I would do is credit all the teams we played against. Look, Munster, and I've said it from the outset, Munster is a brilliant province, and I think all of the 5 teams are very, they were all equal contenders for this. And I did fear, at the outset, it's going to be really, really hard on whoever gets knocked out. And because there is no weak team in Munster. That's maybe rich me saying that to you, and we're knocked out. But I still hold that view. There are no weak teams in Munster, and anybody can beat anybody on a given day.
You lost Dan McCormack, and that maybe shot your bolt in the sense that Noel McGrath had to come in that bit earlier, and the impact of a second half sub was lost.
Yeah, look, that's the game, Noel. In our heads, in our plan, Noel for the second half was exactly what we had in our minds, and we'd get that lift or get that impetus that Noel would bring. Look, the two boys collided. Joanne Kelly got on and played on, and Dan couldn't. And those are small little things, and they do, when they don't go with you, obviously it can just set you back a little bit. But to be fair, I think credit to our panel, everyone that went on the pitch gave their the most they absolutely could. Clare did the same. I could see them running out their bench as well, and that's what it takes. It's a 20-man effort out there today, particularly in that heat. It was very draining, and the energy that the guys were showing us all and using out there today was phenomenal.
Apart from Galway last night, no team has won in this championship having 3 or 4 weeks winning like this. Was that a factor in how it played out today?
No, to be honest, look, I didn't see fatigue. If anything, I saw quite the opposite. I think that was our best performance out of 4, albeit we didn't get anything out of it. No, I know, the writing was on the wall for us, as in we had to deliver a performance today to have a chance. So I don't think it hurt us today. I don't think it's perfect. By the same token, you know, that some teams get a break and some don't, and I know they're going to alternate that next year, but that's not the solution, in my opinion. You know, but how do you get it right with 5 teams? You know, we'd need more an extra team to fix that so that everybody could get a break. However, that's above my pay grade. Look, you know, I suppose the disheartening thing have been the earlier performances. I keep saying that, but today we lost today, and today we get knocked out of the championship.
Brendan Maher, story about Brendan.
Don't know, didn't look good, Liam. Now, I'm just hoping, you know, for Liam, or for Brendan's sake and the rest of the lads' sakes, that they can, you know, recover quickly, and hopefully that's not what it might appear, as in a knee issue with the ligaments or anything like that, so he can go on and have a good championship with Borsley. Look, I suppose this is the awful side of this championship this year for us, is that we're one of those 2 teams, and our season finishes in very early June, and what do we do for the rest of the year? Because this is not the script that we had certainly written, but c'est la vie.
Michael, you made an immense contribution. I'm a Clare member, but you made an immense contribution to this championship, and you just came up short there at the end. And you've been very generous then in your comments about Clare. But are you still a fan of this system? It's been a fantastic championship, and I know you've just bowed out there now. But
yeah, no, I am absolutely in principle. I am a fan of this system, and it just you know, I suppose it asks the other questions too. Could it be expanded? You know, could this be the way for the, you know, the All Ireland Championship? Could all the teams be in the mix? And I don't know the answer to any of that. But look, I can't argue with where you had 4 quality games like that in quick succession. I think for us, some of the things that we need to consider in Tip are, you know, our that the April month and how we've managed that, and you know, because, you know, I am very conscious. I suppose, you know, our path was laid out for us. We had 4 in a row, and you know, it was certainly one of the things that was bothering me way back when we were deciding how we were going to run our championship, that, you know, we had 4 in a row. These guys are not machines. However, the best performance came on day 4, so it's a difficult one. But I think it'll impact our view in terms of how we'll view the National League going forward. I think without a solitary doubt, if this is the format we have next year, Tip need to have a look at that, particularly if we're going to have such a busy April, and even at that now. And you remember, weather impacted 2 of those weeks that we lost. Right, you know, so there was going to be other activities built in there as well. But look, that's internal stuff. That's Tip. I think for the quality of the hurling that's been served up here in Munster is the highest I've seen for a very, very long time in Munster, and everybody has had a chance. So I assume nobody's whinging about that. You know, we've had enough chances. We just, you know, we didn't take them.
And which team has impressed you most of the teams you've seen in Munster?
Well, I suppose I could put a jinx on anybody now, but I thought Limerick were outstanding. They won, and I think they've gotten steadily better. But I suppose just I think that their journey has been the longest. They've been out of Division 1A for a while, but they've really built on the success of the under 21 teams. And I did reference this before. You know, a lot of their players are very. As I say, they're backboning the universities around LIT and UL, so they've certainly impressed me. But so too has Limerick, has Cork and Waterford. I mean, look, we chased those guys. We were 9 down against Cork. That'll show you what they were doing to us out here for the first half. And similarly against Waterford last week, you know, we were 11 down at one point in time, and we should have, you know, they should have really knocked us out at that point in time. But they were, you know, I suppose the point I'm making is, all of those teams are excellent hurling teams, and they're capable of putting up massive scores. And but you know, hats off to, as I said, the highest level we've played here today. Was here. Sorry, the highest level we've played over 4 weeks was here today against Clare. And pound for pound, Clare matched us and beat us. So, you know, I'd have to acknowledge everybody.
Are you saying, Michael, that if this type of championship continues, that the National League will be the demise of the National League, or it could be?
It will be for Tip, I'll tell you that. From my perspective, no way can we continue to try and do what we were trying to do and fall in then and dedicate, you know, the month of April to 3 or 4 competitive games for anyone who's playing senior hurling and senior football, and expect them to turn out 4 days in a row here. It's too big of an ask, but it's not the reason why we went out here today, nonetheless. You know, we had performance issues that we weren't reaching, and that, you know, that's internal stuff as opposed to external.
Time.
That's a good question, Shane. Are you going to play with Coola next year? Then, sure, that's it. Then, sure, I'll come back as well. Look, no, it's premature, lads, to be honest. You know, any decisions we make on that, we'll make them in the call light of day. There's never any good decisions made immediately after a match, be it a win or a loss. So, look, the only thing we care about is a very fine bunch of players inside there in that dressing room. And the biggest thing, the overall thing, is the health of Tipperary hurling, and that's the only thing that this whole program is about. Is the state of Tipperary hurling. Are we at the top table? Are we up there competing? And look, you know, this has been we've been hit by a train. This wasn't in the plan. So, you know, I think the test is ours in terms of how we regroup and how we come back and compete with what is now a very different hurling landscape, and a landscape that's much where all the teams are look to be very competitive, and there's certainly no you know, probably if I was to reference Galway being looking the team that's out in front in the championship so far, but let's wait and see. There's a lot of hurling to be played yet.
Michael, new format.
Okay,
Thanks,
lads,
Michael.
it's time now.
This big